Today we're going to talk about the new moon on April 22nd. So if you are watching this live in our Facebook group, that's 2 days from now. You might be watching this on the new moon, you might be watching this later. But the new moon that we're very specifically talking about and the cosmic energies that we're talking about today are for and around April 22nd. Now, anyone that knows the moon phases knows that we feel the energies well beforehand, and we're going to feel the energies a few weeks afterwards. So everything I'm talking about here, it's already started, which is why I can do this video early, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling it. And then you're going to be feeling some of these effects a few weeks later. Just take that into consideration, that the moon, you know, it goes from the new moon to the full moon back to the new moon, and it's a full month cycle. But we're always feeling the new moon for a few weeks, and then, you know, we feel the full moon for a few weeks as well. Before I dive into the very specific energies that we've got going on, I want to talk a little bit about new moons, because they're very different from full moons. In fact, I find that they're even more potent. They have so much more power. The new moon energy is, for me, just a lot stronger. And a lot of times I believe that's because they get a little bit of a rap for being dark. Obviously, for those reasons where there is no light in the sky at night, we can't see anything, we know there's a new moon, there's nothing illuminating. But if you put that into metaphorical sense and an energetic sense, that the new moon is that darkness that allows us to feel, or it casts a shadow on the earth, and it also sort of illuminates in its darkness our own shadows. So during this cycle, during any new moon, it feels a little dark and it feels a little bit more intense because our shadow sides are coming out. And when you look at the moon and the specific energies, what the other planets are doing, the type of moon it is, that gives you a really good indication of what type of things might be coming out for you, which is why it always changes, right? But in general, new moons are all about what are the shadows that are coming up for me? What are the things that I'm maybe feeling anxious about? What are the things that I'm feeling down about? A lot of people get a little bit depressed around new moon times. That's because these things are coming up, but the amazing thing is they are coming up to be released. So this energy that's coming up is here so that you can take one last look at it and say, you know what, I don't need you anymore. I don't want to feel anxious anymore. I don't want to be in this situation that's making me feel crummy anymore. New moons are a symbol of new beginnings. So when you're feeling achy, just remember that this is an amazing time to have a brand new start. That's why you see new moon intentions are all about, what do I want to do? And the full moon is more like, what do I want to release and get rid of, right? So that's a little bit about how the moon cycle works. We ramp up with our intentions, we hit a peak with the full moon, and then we go back around and we release. So it's gain, release. So having said that, I want to take a quick second to say that if you are watching this, I am doing a Moon Magic manifestation series. It's 16 days starting on Wednesday. And those allergies. Starting on Wednesday, the 22nd, and we go all the way to the full moon. And every single day I give a guided experience via email that helps to deal with these energies. Because they are a little bit dark, every single one of those daily practices that I send out, if you participate in that experience, is meant to enhance your energy and boost your energy so that you can really use this power of the moon to your advantage. I'm going to put the link above after I post this if any of you want to find out any more information. If you're watching this later, it's going to be in the description. So let's talk about this new moon in particular. This new moon and some of the astrological stuff, and then I'm going to get into the cards in a moment, that's happening right now. This is a new moon in Taurus. Taurus is the ultimate sign of earth energy. Taurians are very stable. So this energy right now for this new moon is calling for everyone to find our stability. Where can we root into the earth more? Where can we ground? If you're out here and you're getting caught up in the news and everything feels crazy, you're not grounded. And this energy is allowing and helping you pull yourself back down to earth. So number one, if you're feeling crazy right now, which probably most of us are, I mean, raise your hand if you had to go to the grocery store during this pandemic. It's nuts. But you know what I did? I went to the grocery store and I came home and I went outside and I grounded myself and my energy shifted just like that. So this new moon in Taurus is asking us, like, where can we ground ourselves more? Where can we work with the earth? Where can we get out of that chaos and really make ourselves inside feel safe? Like sometimes the world outside of us isn't a safe place or doesn't feel like a safe place, but we always have the opportunity to create that inside. That could be going for a walk. If you're stuck inside, that could be sitting and breathing. That could be looking at your plants. Sometimes you could just watch Planet Earth on Netflix and get that sense of being grounded and being part of this bigger picture. Taurus, however, is also very stubborn. So this is energy of like, where are you being really stubborn about things? Where are you like, nope, I'm not going to change. I know change is happening all around me, but I'm not participating. I want everything to stay the way that it is. Okay, let's talk about that for a little bit. We have two major planets right now, Uranus and Saturn, who are battling one another during this new moon. Uranus is a planet of unexpected events, big events, things that shock us. And it's a planet that is all about freedom. It's almost like, you try to put like the Tasmanian devil in a box. That's Uranus. And Uranus will eventually like blow the box apart and just go wild and be like, I need my freedom. I can't stand being boxed in. I don't want rules. I don't want anyone to tell me what to do. That's Uranus. Then we have Saturn over here, who is all about the hardcore rules. This is like the establishment, the government. Saturn is called Father Karma for a reason, because it's like, what are you doing wrong? And sometimes we're not doing anything wrong. But when you have these two planets battling one another, you have got Uranus over here that wants freedom, that wants to escape. This is like the rebellious teenager. And it might cause people to act rash and act out and feel like they just want to make these impulsive decisions. And then you have Saturn over here that is not helping, because it's all about rules and making us feel confined. And sometimes those rules are not just and not fair. And given the situation that the world is in right now, that makes so much sense, doesn't it? We're all confined in our homes. Everyone's watching on the news about like vaccines and this and that, and we don't feel safe, and we feel boxed in, and we feel so limited, and we feel like we can't even get out of our house. We're feeling a little bit crazy. That is the combination of those two planets not really working off one another, but working together to make you feel nuts, right? So you've got Saturn over here that's just like, rules, like you need to follow the rules, and you got Uranus like, oh my God, I need to get out. So just know that during this time and during this new moon, there are other planets that are causing energies to feel a little chaotic, and that's why. So you might find yourself caught up in a lot of old patterns where, first of all, like if you feel that you have to control things, maybe you're a little OCD, maybe you're a bit of a control freak. I know I used to be like that as well, and you're going to feel a little bit crazy because things are going to feel out of control. Uranus is going to make sure that everything feels out of control. You might be in a situation, perhaps a relationship, where it's like, oh my God, this isn't working. I'm out. F this person. Bye. There's a lot of things that are going to come up, but keep in mind that this new moon Taurus energy is here to help. when this planet's crazy and that planet's crazy and they're not getting along, Taurus comes in and says, how can you ground yourself? If you feel that things are getting out of control, you know what you can control? Your energy. At any given time, you have the power to control your own energy. Think about that for a second. Give yourself a moment with that. There's a lot of, like I said in the last video, there's a lot of blaming and throwing that power away. Well, I don't have control. I blame Trump. I blame the government. I blame this doctor. I blame the people that aren't wearing masks. There's so much of that going on right now where we are giving our power away. But you and I and everyone in this world has complete control over our own emotions and our own energy no matter what. Here is a perfect example using these planets. Nelson Mandela. This incredible leader was imprisoned. That Saturn locked him away in jail where he had no contact with the outside world or his loved ones, and it was very unjust. And you know what? He could have been Uranus. He could have been like, oh my God, I need to get out of there, and freaked out. But you know what he did? He used that time to find his connection to God, find his connection to Source. He used that time to really dig deep and create an inner sense of peace and safety. Here was this man locked away for years, unjustly, and he found a way to create peace inside himself, and he even said that when he left. So here we are, locked away, we're quarantined, we're all in our own homes, we're watching the chaos happen around us, and in some cities, the chaos is happening where you live. Taurus and this new moon give you the opportunity to earth and to ground and to ask yourself, how can I create that sense of safety? All right. I'm going to pull some cards because I want to give you guys a little bit of guidance around that. I decided to use these Shadowscape cards, so hopefully you can see them, but I love these cards. I'm going to do a little bit of tarot. This is guidance on what can you do during this time. What are the things that Spirit is offering for guidance? I mean, look at that. The Ace of Wands. I love it. Aces are new beginnings. So the Ace of Wands right here, Wands is fire. So this is like, yes, we know that there's all of this stuff going on around you, but what are you passionate about? Regardless of what's happening in the world right now, what are you passionate about? And how do you want to use this new moon and this new energy to start over? What things do you want to bring into your life? And what new beginnings do you want to create? So right now, there's a lot of change in the world, and when change happens, we can use this to our own advantage. Change is good. Now, again, if you're stuck in change, you might be feeling that other side of the Taurian energy, but allow yourself to open up to the fact that everything that's happening right now means that change is coming. And on a personal level, if things aren't working in our lives, we always have the ability to create new beginnings. Again, that is what this new moon energy is all about. Where are the areas of our life where things aren't working? Now, I love this. This is the next card I pulled, which is the Lovers. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards. The Lovers is number 6 in the deck. It is one of the major arcana. If you have been listening to our tarot videos, the Lovers card could be about romance. Sometimes it's about romance, but really what I feel that it means, and I think at the root of it, is the romance. See, I'm going to show you this card here. There's two characters, there's a man and a woman, that are very different. This card symbolizes the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies, the polarities, the dualities that happen within each of us. So when I see this card, I always immediately feel that this is the universe asking us, where can you create balance in your life? Are you being too aggressive right now during this pandemic? Bring it back a notch. Bring it back a notch and find that divine feminine and really find a way to be more in tune with the earth, to be more in tune with yourself, to be more in tune with your emotions and your intuition, and go with the flow more. Your intuition will always guide you. On the opposite side, are you stuck in maybe a more wounded feminine where you feel like a victim and you feel like the world, the world is out to get you? Where in your life can you stand in your power? So I think all of us are going to fall somewhere in that spectrum. Usually it's one of the other. And this card and this new moon and this Taurian energy is really asking you, where can you create balance? Because the balance that you create is always going to make you feel more grounded. It's always going to make you feel more safe. Again, if you're in that toxic masculine and you're out there being aggressive, that's because you don't feel safe to feel these things. You don't feel safe to like tap into your intuition. You think the answers are out there. You know, you're blaming everybody else for the issues. And again, if you're in the other side of the spectrum and you're in your wounded feminine, it's that victim mentality. And it's like, oh my God, I don't feel safe to speak up. Well, all of those things are okay. It's beautiful. We're all going through this right now. And there's no one to blame here. The energies are just asking, like, where can you be kind to yourself and where can you find that balance so that you feel better? This card right here, this is the self-love card, 100%. When you are creating balance, the lovers is self-love. That's why I always say, like, it could be romantic relationship, but in this situation, it's not. And I don't really ever think it's that when I pull this card. I always get that sense that it's asking, like, where can I self-love more? Because when you self-love, you're not going to be that aggressive person going out there and blaming. You're not going to be the person that feels like they can't speak up for themselves. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm feeling really whole within myself and I'm able to take on anything that comes up. So let's see what else is here. Let's see what other cards come up. Okay. Knight of Wands. I love this card. So Wands, again, is fire. And the Knight of Wands is a character who, he's ready for battle. Look at him. He is on his, whatever that creature is, he is ready for battle. But he is ready for anything that comes his way. He is sitting there gracefully. He is present. He is grounded. He's not in the battle. He is just there and prepared for anything that comes his way. And when I see this, the reading or the guidance that I'm getting for you is when you utilize those tools like grounding, like meditation. Again, Taurus is earth energy, and Taurians are notorious for exercising outdoors. Like I'm a Taurus rising, so we're all about nature and being active in nature. Exercising, eating well, taking care of yourself, those are all means of preparation. I mean, there is sort of a war happening right now with this pandemic. Nobody knows who's going to win. Nobody knows who's going to, quote unquote, lose. So how can we prepare ourselves? Well, the first thing we can do is find a way to stay healthy, is find a way to keep our bodies healthy, our minds healthy, and all of those tools I just mentioned are for any of us to use at any time. Anyone can hop on YouTube right now and find a video on how to meditate and do it. Again, we are in control of our energy and our emotions all of the time. That's not to say we're not going to feel crappy sometimes. But we also have the opportunity to shift that. The moment we feel crappy, we can be like, okay, what's making me feel crappy? And then we can go and we can take a look at it and we can change it. And again, that is what this new moon is all about. How can we shift the things in our life that are no longer working for us? All right, let's pull one more card here. I'm not shocked. The Tower. The Tower. The most feared card in the deck. No, I don't really see it that way. A lot of times when people pull this card, they see the Tower as this severe destruction. And in a sense it is. You know, I've pulled this before. You can see lightning is striking a tower and it's falling apart. That is the world around us right now. There are a lot of structures that are not working. And the thing about the tower is the tower in this card, in this deck, symbolizes structures that are limiting. So when you see the tower get struck by lightning, to me, it is a symbol of liberation. Where are things in my life where things aren't working? Where is Saturn pushing my energy and forcing me into that box that I no longer want to be in? I'm feeling small. I'm feeling constrained. I'm feeling limited. And this is the energy that is making us want to break free. It's like, I want freedom. And that's Uranus, right? I want freedom. I don't want to live this way anymore. I don't want to be in this lifestyle. I don't want anything in my life that doesn't make me feel like an amazing rock star. And that's great. With the energies that are happening right now, be very conscious that you are listening to that guidance, all of it. It's all important. Anything that comes up right now that feels limiting to you is an opportunity to take note of where in your life you might be limiting yourself or your situations, your job, your relationships. The places you live are limiting you, and those are the areas that you want to change. But with these energies, it's really important not to go the Uranus route and react, blow up, make rash, impulsive decisions. Not right now. Note the things that you want to change. List them out. When you do a new moon ritual, we're going to start with this. List out all of the things that you want to change and really visualize how you want your life to be in the future. And then from that place, use that new moon Taurian energy to ground yourself. And when you're feeling safe and when you're feeling ready and when you're feeling clear and sure about what you want to do, then you can start taking the steps to change. It is not necessary at this moment in time to react and blow up and create massive change in your life just like that. There are events that might create that for you, but you always have that home. You always have that inner sense. I'm going to pull one more card. It's telling me pull one more card. And you know what? A card just flew out. So here we go. Actually, this is great. This is so great. Here's the card that flew out. I am so not shocked. I actually had a dream that this was in there. It's the Sun. This is the best card in the deck. The Tower is supposedly like the most feared card, and then you get the Sun, and this is the absolute best card in the deck. You've heard me say this before. The Sun energy, not only does it mean that everything is lucky right now, that everything you're doing is great, you are being protected and loved by the universe. But this is an opportunity. When I see the Sun, this symbolizes you. This symbolizes me. This symbolizes the person who has the ability, each one of us have the ability to find our own radiance, our own shine. And that comes from releasing all that stuff that doesn't work. That comes from finding that inner peace. We can be fully radiant in a time like now. Even with all the chaos happening, we can be ourselves. And I think I've said this to some of you. We all have the responsibility to step out into the world and shine, to let other people see that energy in us, because that heals other people. Just as you might be watching this, just as you see the people every day out there inspiring and healing you, that's what we need to do as well. We get inspired, we then turn around, we make changes in our lives, we create lives of our dreams, and that's what this new moon is all about. How can you create the life of your dreams? And when we have that, we radiate this beautiful energy and this beautiful light, and other people then look at that light and say, I want my life to change too. And you know what? That person did it. I have the power to do it. That's the cycle. That's the change. So this card right here is asking all of us, how can we radiate more light and more love? Not blame, not shame, not victimhood, not aggression, not power, not brutality, not violence, not any of that. How can we radiate more light and love to everyone out there? Because you know what? There are people waiting for every single person watching this video, there are people already lined up, souls waiting to access your light, to be healed by you. So this year, this whole entire year right now, it's going to be a little bit crazy astrologically. This whole entire year is filled with opportunities to make massive shifts in your life so that you can be the sun. This is you. This is you shining your light on everyone to see. So that is our new moon reading, you guys. Oh, you know what? No, I forgot. I was going to pull an angel card. Oh yeah, the angels were like, you need to talk to me today. So I've got my angel deck. And speaking of light, oh my gosh, if you ever need help, you know, this is outside of religion. Angels are not part of any religion. They are the most pure and amazing, highest and purest spirit energy. So if you're ever going through a hard time, I tell this to everyone. It's like, look, regardless of what you believe, just step back for a moment when you're laying in bed or you're sitting on the couch. You know, take a moment to yourself, close your eyes, and ask the angels for help with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Ask them for help and see what happens. Every time I ask the angels for help, they're there immediately. I mean, immediately I start seeing angel numbers. You feel them, like you can feel their energy. Oh, I love this. So we got the Cupid card. This is the angels. We send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life itself. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all its glorious aspects. So I'm going to tie this with the Lovers card and say, yes, this could be about romance, but in this situation, I'm very specifically getting the guidance that this is self-love. Romance is self-romance. This message from them is all about knowing that you have everything inside of you. They love you. Spirit always loves you. The universe loves you. You can love yourself equally the same. And when you have that love, when you have that romance inside of you, you start feeling like those passions come alive again. What is it that you're passionate about? We got that Ace of Wands. What is it that you're passionate about? Let that flame ignite within you. And rather than focusing on the crap that's happening in the outside world, of course, stay safe, make sure survival needs are met. That may or may not include toilet paper. Regardless of what's happening, know that right now is such a potent time for you to rekindle your passions and find out what it is that you want in life and truly go after it. I want to follow up on that because I know that some people are like, you know what? I feel passionless right now. I don't feel like anything's inside of me. I feel gross. I've been there. I've definitely been there. There was times when I remember laying in bed being like, I have no passion left. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. And you know what? It took me a little while. But what helped was to just start experimenting with things. I started reading a bunch of books. I started diving into classes, anything to trigger and get that creative juice flowing. Anything creative will always help. Even if you're like, I don't know how to draw or how to paint, get one of those like books where you can like color in the numbers and get some colored pencils and just go to town. That energy helps ignite those passions because we're not thinking about like, but I don't know what I want to do in life. That's okay. Not everyone knows what they want to do in life. I just turned 43 this week and it took me this long to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and that's okay. But I always have the ability to get those juices and those passions going by doing something creative. And that's just for me, even like me pulling cards, like I love pulling cards, and that helps me get that tap into that energy. But start there. So if you're wondering like, God, I feel passionless, I don't know what I'm doing. First of all, you could take my Moon Magic course. I'm going to mention that again because it's all about gratitude and creating that energy and that fire of passion. So I'm going to put the link above. But just every single day, Focus on the things around you that you appreciate. Try to be a little bit creative. Use that Taurian new moon energy, especially over the next 2 weeks, to be more active, be more grounded, and connect with the earth more. That's really going to serve you. And again, when you feel these two planets, Saturn and Uranus, when you feel these planets going to town, you don't have to get involved with that energy. You're going to feel it, but you don't have to get involved. While that's all happening in the cosmos and the whole entire world is spinning and people are going a little bit crazy, you have the power over your own energy and emotions. You can control those, and you could use this time to tap into the new moon energy to plant the seeds of what you really want to bring forth in your life. So I hope this video and this reading helped you guys a little bit. Remember, it's all about love. It's all about self-love. That's a great place to start. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you do want to do the Moon Magic experience, it's only $22. It's very inexpensive for 16 days of me personally guiding you via email. I'm going to put the link above. I hope to see you there. And if not, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. Bye. Mwah.